Hey guys, my name is Sai. I just want to thank you all for coming to my channel. If you're new here, then welcome, and if you're not, then welcome back. Today's video is just going to be a little chit chat about something that I feel is very important and that needs to be addressed. So let's get into it.
Showed up, shawty. What it do? Yeah.
So can we talk about the need for people to stop putting pressure on new graduates? And specifically, I want to talk about college graduates, because yes, in high school you have a lot of pressure to go to school, but I just feel like it's on a different level once you graduate college. Okay, so I graduated back in May of 2018, and I can tell you that it's literally been such a roller coaster. Like, I feel like I hit the lowest that I've ever been once I graduated, and I will tell you why. So as a new graduate, you have so much expected from you. You have people questioning you about what school you're going to, if you're going to graduate school, what job you're gonna have, if you have a job waiting for you. You know, it's just so much, and it's just so much pressure that is not needed. You shouldn't have spent 4 years busting your butt to get that degree, whatever degree you have, just for people to then, question you as soon as it happens about, your future. And I'm talking as soon as it happens. Like, people were asking, like, the day of graduation, like after we graduated, after we left the building, questions were popping up.
So what's next?
I don't know. I don't even know what I'm gonna eat for dinner. Like, can we relax a little bit? You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like people just expect too much. I was even expecting so much from the after college life that when it didn't happen the way that I pictured it, I was just so let down and just so upset and sad all the time. So before I graduated, a month before, I was applying to, or not applying, but I was looking at different jobs that I could apply to back home. So that way by the time I got home, I can just literally click send and, wait for the acceptance, to one of the jobs. So, or the offer letter rather. So when I got home, I was applying and I was really excited. I was like, I just graduated, I got my degrees, physiology, neurobiology, I worked so hard. And so people are gonna be jumping at me. They're gonna, I am of value to these people. I have a college degree, because that's what you're told in high school. You gotta go to college because that's what people look for. Is it? Well, at least for my major. Like I said, I was a physiology and neurobiology major, and with that major, it literally gets you, I feel like it gets you nothing. Like, it's invaluable until you extend that to a master's degree or a PhD or a medical degree. So I was applying to places, and I kept getting rejected. And it's not like I was applying to crazy jobs like physician or even high nursing jobs or anything like that, because I knew that I didn't have the qualifications for those jobs. So why would I apply to it, right? So I was applying to things like medical receptionist, patient care technician, things like that. That would be easy to learn for me because I'm a quick learner. And I like learning new skills when it comes to that. So I was like, okay, this will be good. So I applied to a bunch of those and got rejected every single time. And at first I was like, those jobs just weren't meant for me. I am gonna keep going and I'm gonna keep, applying and stuff. And that worked for a little bit until I just kept on getting the rejection letters, and I would literally doubt myself and question my self-worth. I think being in a new state as well, because when I graduated, my mom had moved to a different state. So I was going home to somewhere that I have I know no one, you know? So on top of knowing no one, so being alone, besides my mom, but being alone, not having a job, not going on any vacations or taking any trips anywhere, I felt like everything was just weighing down on me, you know? Like I would be applying to jobs from the time that I wake up literally until the time that I sleep. So the fact that I kept getting rejection letters was just so infuriating. So I would be on top of that, I would be on social media. When I was in college, I didn't have the time to just sit on social media and watch what everyone was posting about, watch what everyone was doing, career-wise or like socially, you know? So I was worried about getting my degree. I was worried about doing my work. So now that it was summer, I didn't have any classes, I graduated, I literally had all the time in the world and was seeing everyone doing such great things, or what I thought was everyone doing such great things. Because, you know, some people don't post about the bad things on social media sometimes. So what you're seeing is all the good. So for me, I'm like, dang, their life is just like hella good. Like they just graduated just like me, and they got a job, and they got this, and they going to this, you know, vacation and whatnot. And I'm just sitting here like, okay, so what about what I need? Literally questioning God, like what am I doing? So I would see all that, and just that would make me get even more down on myself. So I had to take a hiatus from social media. And granted, I only did it for like 2 weeks. I had to get off from seeing everybody's goodness, if that makes sense. And I don't mean to sound bitter, because I really was not, that was not my intent. It was not me wishing they were in my situation, but it was me wishing I was in theirs. And it was me wanting to do what they did to get to that position, when in reality my path isn't the same as theirs. And that's something that I realized later on, where we might be going to the same place, but we're not going to take the same path there. So yeah, so eventually, after getting rejected from the medical type positions that I was applying for about like a month and a half, I started applying to just regular old stores, or, you know, stuff like things like that. And I was still getting rejected. And that just, if I was like infuriated, that just, you know, pushed me over the edge in terms of like my sadness and my being upset. It just pushed me over the edge, because I'm like, I have a college freaking degree. I paid so much money for this paper, and it's not even getting me a job in a retail store. You know, like imagine that. Imagine paying $40,000 a year, because I was out of state. I went to University of Maryland. Imagine paying over $40,000 a year for 4 years, and then come out and not even be able to get a job in a retail store. So that's where my head was at, right? Eventually, I got a job at Forever 21. And when I did, I was so happy. Like, it wasn't anything close to the job that I desired, but it was just something that I can gain money from to save, so I can go on trips, so I can pay for my next classes, because I still had to take classes to satisfy prerequisites for a program that I want to go into. So I, you know, took that job. Then after a few weeks, I was like, wow, I really hate this job. Like, you can ask my sister, you can ask my mom, you can ask my friends. I hated that job. It's like, it makes you feel like a maid. And I don't know if it's just all retail stores, because I feel like a place like Aeropostale or something wouldn't be like that. But because Forever 21 is so big, especially the one that I worked at, it was so big. I just felt like as soon as something would get done, it would get messed up again. Like, I have so much respect for people who stay in retail for so long, just because it's like people have no regard for what you're doing. Like, as soon as you can fix a whole table of, say, shirts, right? Fold it perfectly, color code, whatever. You can turn around and somebody will have watched you fold it. They will have watched you fold it for like a good 10 minutes. Then as soon as you walk away, they will go and mess it up to find one shirt. Instead of asking, hey, can you help me find a shirt? Or instead of just nicely picking up the pile, put it to the side, grab the shirt you want, put the pile back. No, they will mess it up. And that is just, it would just get on my nerves so much. And then on top of that, standing on your feet for however many hours, then having to literally fix every single hanger, and then somebody go like this and pull the hanger out. And you gotta do it all over again. You know how much do you realize how like angry I was? How annoyed and how just over it I was? It was, yeah, I was over it. Okay, so and then you only get a 30-minute lunch. And by the time I even got online in the food court, I'd have like 5 minutes to scarf down the food and then make it back in the store, upstairs, put my stuff away, then make it back downstairs to sign back in. You know? So I started looking for another job. I was like, all right, I'm not staying here. I cannot stay here, right? And I found a job at a home health care agency. Initially, I was like, I'm not sure about this, but I feel like it would hold some value. After doing it for 2 weeks, I realized that number one, my pay rate is not big enough. Second of all, it was all the way in Philadelphia, which was like an hour and 10 minutes to get to the, it wasn't in Philadelphia, it was in King of Prussia. To get to the homes, it was like an hour and 10 minutes just going there. So the amount of gas that I was using up, the amount of time that I was spending was not, the amount of money I was making was not leveling out. So I was like, okay, this is not working. So again, I started to apply to other places. I wound up getting a job at an optometrist office, which I'm currently at now. Well, when I got this job, I was, excited. I was very excited. I wasn't too happy about the pay rate, but it was something in the medical field that I felt like would give me something valuable to put on my resume. So yeah, that kind of helped lift my spirits. But I was still sad last year. Like I was just, and I just felt like I was so alone in it, because literally when I tell you I would go on social media and everything I see was people doing well, people go on vacation, people just living, and I was not living. I felt stagnant. It was really bad. Like I can remember just this one time that just made me realize that I am not okay was I was in my clubhouse, the clubhouse at my apartment building, and my dad called and I just started crying out of nowhere, and he was like, asking me what's wrong, and I had no reason to give him, like I couldn't pinpoint a reason. I was just sad about life, in general. And at that moment I was like, okay, because it's not the first time that had happened. So you'd think that the first time would be the most memorable, but no, it was that time, because I realized that isn't the first time that happened. Like that has happened a lot where I just start crying out of nowhere. And I was like, okay, something has to change. So I went into the new year, and no, it didn't happen like a switch, but I went into the new year knowing that I wanted to change my mindset, and I didn't like being in the depressive state that I was. I didn't like crying. I like being happy. I like having fun. I like being jolly, you know. That sounds really, I like being happy, you know. So I made the decision that I wasn't gonna be sad anymore, that I was going to take care of myself, that I wasn't going to feel lonely. I was gonna make use of being by myself. I was gonna take myself out to eat. I was gonna go to the movies by myself. And that may seem like, you know, weird to some people, but that's just what I wanted to do. I wanted to embrace it instead of thinking of it as a negative. And I also, you know, decided to realize that God has for me what he has for me. And none of these companies, none of these hospitals is going to take that away. So if I'm meant to be somewhere, I will be there, you know? And also that I couldn't look at what other people had. I couldn't compare my journey to theirs, because it's not going to be the same. And if I continued to do that, then I would just always be in that depressive state. And I didn't want to do that. I started to pray more, and it really helped. Like, before I would wake up and the first thing I would grab is my cell phone. It would just be an instinct, really. But, you know, I grabbed the phone afterwards. But the first thing I did was pray, and that really helped. I started listening to gospel music more often, because I love music. And whenever I would get really sad, I kind of made it worse by listening to sad music, but that's just what I did. That's just what I still do that. I don't know why. I just listen to music that fits my emotional state at that time. And I started to listen to more gospel music, which really did lift my spirits. Like, it just made me have a completely different outlook. And I'm not gonna lie and say that all my troubles are gone now and I'm, you know, doing so well. I still have sad moments, but it's nowhere near the amount of sadness that, you know, that I had last year. And I'm so thankful for that. So I really just wanted to talk about this, because I know from even talking to my friend that I'm not alone, and I thought I was. I'm not alone in feeling like this. And I just want to talk about this because there's other people out there who may feel like I did, and that may feel like they're alone, and they're not. So I just feel like people really, on top of putting pressure on yourself, you don't need other people putting that pressure on you. You don't need to be around people that constantly are bringing you down, constantly asking you what's next, and they don't even have their lives together, you know? It'd be different if somebody is trying to help you get to the state that you want, but honestly, asking somebody every 5 seconds, every day, every, you know, week, it's not helpful. It really isn't. So you need to take care of yourself. You need to block out the negative energy. If something is not contributing to your happiness, then you need to let that go. So I really hope that this video has helped somebody, that this video has shed light to people who are the ones asking the questions and are the ones doing the pressuring. I hope that you watch this video and realize that you shouldn't expect so much from us. And yeah, if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please share with somebody that you think might benefit from the video, and comment below with what videos, what topics you want to see next. Remember that I also am going to be doing natural hair videos, so if there's any style that you want me to try to do, if you want to know my wash day routine, anything like that, any songs that you want me to do covers of, please let me know. Once again, thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.